I learned humility from my late husband. Maybe I would have been 20 years with him. It was 9 years, but that 9 years was timeless. When you love a man, you don't look at the time of years that you spend, but the beauty of the impact that the man made in a short time. When I met this man, he never mentioned he was a general, but I saw a quintessence, a very classy man. Look at the way I look, Benga. So you can imagine when I was 25, the way I was looking.
Of course, I'm surprised.
If I'm looking like this at 57, then you can imagine. My late husband was the one who got Kaduna Nzogu's body to be buried from Obolafo Ebolike, where Nzogu was ambushed with the Biafran soldiers. It was my late husband that took Kaduna Nzogu's body back to be buried as a Nigerian soldier.
Well, it's another very wonderful, lovely day today in the city of Abuja, northern Nigeria. Abuja is the federal capital territory of Nigeria, West Africa, as we meet a very wonderful, lovely, intelligent woman. She is a woman that has been so long in the society and she knows so much. She's a gender advocate, a very wonderful, dynamic businesswoman. And she is the wife of one of the most accomplished Nigerian and African Army general, in the person of late General Emmanuel Foluso Sotomi, who was one of the first sets in the Nigerian Army with the N47 number. It was one of the 50s Army officers, and he was the first commandant of the Army College in Jaji. He is a wonderful man. He was also a lawyer, a pilot, a compendium of intellectual activities. We've been trying to reach out to this woman in the last 7 years, going to 8 years now, but most of the time she's always busy. It's either she's she's in Abuja, or she's in Lagos, or she's in a riverine area in Niger Delta. She's a fantastic woman, and we are very, very humble, and we're very happy to meet Princess Pegasus Sotomi. Yes, Princess Pegasus Sotomi. I want to just say that who is this woman? Because you are a friend of a lot of wonderful people, a lot of people in the society. I mean, top women and all that. But it appears that you've kept to yourself so much. But who is Aunty Pegasus Foluso Sotomi?
To God be the glory. Gringa, nice to meet you. My brother, nice to see you. It's been quite a while. How will I start it? I will start by saying I'm grateful to God for being alive. The greatest miracle of all times that you can get. Prophecy might fail you, but the gift of life is very, very important. And most of all, I appreciate God for these years. In 23 years, I've been a widow, and I know how it is like. So I appreciate God for having friends, for having brothers, sisters, auntie, even the little man you call a boy, a houseboy, or whatever. They've all been pleasant. They've been wonderful, wonderful people in my life.
No. Let's even ask you. Let's start from asking now, what does it mean to be a widow for 2 decades going on now in African setting? Because in Africa, it has, like, when your husband is gone, everything is equally gone, because the family will come and tell you the story of your life, and they try to chastise you. If they don't juju you, they fufu you out of the system. So how has it been being a widow in 23 years?
You see that word being widow, to me, it does not exist. If what do you mean by being widow? If you look at me, there was some time that I was with an uncle of mine, a professor, and because I needed some money from him, and I went in and I said, Uncle, I need a certain XYZ of money, and I said I'm a widow. So my uncle said, can you people look at my sister? Does she look like a widow? That word widow for me, it's never been existent. And even when I'm in the church and they say widows, how about the widowers? Have they ever called widowers in the church for a man who has lost his wife? A 2-year-old child died. A 3-month-old child died. A baby that comes out from the mother's womb died, and the mother is still existing. Is there a name for that? Is there a name, Gringa?
Maybe somebody that just lost a child. I mean, I don't think there's a name for that.
So why would there be a stigma of a widow?
People believe that because women are they call it the soft aspect, or the soft item in a relationship. So they believe that when your man is gone, it's like everything is gone, because we believe that women have this dependency syndrome, and they have to be dependent on a man. So, but in the other case, if a man is losing a woman and is a widower, it's easier for him to connect with another woman and continue with life. But in most cases, women are not like that. So there's always this. It's not stigmatization really, but
it's stigmatization. It is, and let me refrain back. To the Sotomis, wherever they are in the diaspora, they are wonderful, wonderful family. They are very aristocratic and very civilized. So to start with, I never had problems with my husband's family, and I never have in my husband had a lot of kids. So many of them with
your wife number what?
Whatever, I don't know what that means, but I know I was living in the house with my husband. So that's wife number, whatever, my husband never used that, so I don't know whether it exists or not.
I was thinking maybe you are number 4 or 5 or 6.
It doesn't make any difference. Africa is an African setup. King Solomon had so many wives.
Yes. 300, 700, 300.
Yes, so that's it. So whatever, if you find love with somebody, whatever stigma or love or whatever name they call you, a number does not exist for me personally. I don't know what other people thinks. It's the man that knows the woman who is the first or the second. And then we're talking about let's digress. Let's don't go back from what we're saying. Being a widow, I just think some women are just lazy, that they begin to turn to beggars.
You think they're lazy?
Yes, I think it's laziness. That because if you love, even in the Bible, in the book of Ecclesiastes, you understand, you move on with your life. It's allowed for you to mourn 1 or 2 years, and then you move on with your life. Because life is not all about money.
Talking of book of Ecclesiastes from chapter 3 from verse 1 to 7.
Yes, that's it. That's
time for everything.
Yeah, there's time for everything. There's a time to live, there's a time to mourn. So why would you want to live in depression? You know, I've gone all those, people have asked me, how come you've not remarried? Maybe now I'm thinking about it. Because very soon I'll be 60. I will not want to stay 60 without a husband. My kids, they're all grown up.
Okay, before we even go to trying to remarry, who is General Sotomi? Because from our own investigation and from the Army archive, he was seen to be somebody who did a lot. And somebody told us that he was the one that trained people like General IBB, Ibrahim Babangida, General Dom Kadbali, and some other top generals, that he was the first commandant of Jaji, the war college. So, but who is he and where was he from? And how will you define him? And how long did the romance last? And what are the things you learned from it?
My husband was a very kind, very humane, and very generous man who have apathy for people, whether you are in his class or not. There's one strange thing about me. I learned humility from my late husband. Maybe I would have been 20 years with him. It was 9 years, but that 9 years was timeless. When you love a man, you don't look at the time of years that you spend, but the beauty of the impact that the man made in a short time. My husband, I go back. My husband was born in a village. The local government now is Obafemi Owode local government. The village is called Ofada. Ofada is where the Ofada rice comes from in Ogun State and all over Nigeria. He went back to his village. Today I am glad the village is open now. My husband made it open. My husband's parents, his father and his mother, they were buried. They became a Lagosian in Yaba, Mount Gowrie Avenue to be precise. He grew up in Lagos, went to St. John's Primary, Igbutero in Lagos, but he found his way back to his roots. Today, Ofada is a city in Ogun State. It's between Lagos and Ogun State and Lagos and Mowe, and is well known. The man did that single-handedly. We have a big mechanism farm. If you go into Ofada today, when you call Sotomi, that's it. People like Justice Madoriko, they are from that village, and a lot of prominent other people. The Ade Tokumbos of this world. Ofada is their village, but my husband made it expanded to show, and he has a legacy there. The Anglican Church, St. John's Anglican Church, the church has been there for over a century. Before he died, before his demise, he started rebuilding it. And to God be the glory. Today, St. John's Anglican Church in Ofada is a cathedral in Abeokuta.
Very interesting.
Yes.
I didn't even know he contributed to that cathedral there.
My husband was a choir boy in the 40s in Cathedral Church of Christ in Lagos, in Marina. A choir boy, he sings, and so they are rooted Anglican people. His father was attending St. Paul's in somewhere in Balogun Market there. There's an Anglican church, St. Paul's there, yes. So he is to start talking about my husband, it's
are you saying he's a very huge
the man came to this world, he lived a life.
How did you meet him, and what was the attraction like? What attracted you to him, and what attracted?
He met me.
How did he meet you, and what did you? I mean, you've heard that this man.
I'm not going to say everything.
Yeah, I know you won't say, but
it took me 3 months to get married to that man. The man met me, and he says, "You're my wife."
How did something just fell on him like an
fell? Something fell.
Kind of an anointing.
Yes, an anointing. You can
sublime anointing.
Oh yes, you can call it that. You know.
So what did he say to you the first time? I mean, being a soldier. You are just a bloody civilian.
No, okay. No, I'm not. I was not a bloody civilian because I've been in that troops. I've been there. I knew some generals and all that. And I thought I was going to get married to a Navy, an admiral then. But it didn't work.
Were you dating the admiral, or he was dating?
Whatever. whatever, and things happen. I've always been, knowing them and all that and all that.
Sociable in the army circle, in the military circle.
Oh, yes. And then something happened. When I met this man, he never mentioned he was a general. But I saw a quintessence, a very classy man. Look at the way I look, Benga. So you can imagine when I was 25, the way I was looking.
Of course, I'm surprised.
If I'm looking like this at 57, then you can imagine. You know what
that means you are like an Omo me, like Emoja.
I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means.
Maybe your beauty will have captivated the man, but he didn't tell you he's a general. Was it a kind of strength or what? How did you not find out?
It took me like 3 weeks to know who he was really, because anytime we go to his house, we go through the back, the swimming pool. So for 3 weeks, I was never going into the main sitting room to see a picture of a general. And then sometimes the people in his house, but there was a soldier, the old soldier, that was a security man by his gate. And I know those days I used to wear a lot of mini skirts and all that. When I come, the Yoruba will say, Abi ole, like Kilele.
Not knowing that God has already appointed you for a purpose. That household.
Yes, so that is it, to talk. And then there's something about my late husband was the one who got Kaduna Nzogu's body to be buried from Obola for Ebolike, where Nzogu was ambushed with the Biafran soldiers. It was my late husband that took Kaduna Nzogu's body back to be buried as a Nigerian soldier.
That's a historic gesture.
Yes, yeah.
So he was the one that found the body of the hero.
Yes, he was the one. They were all cosmates and all that in Kaduna. Kaduna, Nzogu, Ifeanyi, what's his name? Ifeanyi Ajuna, the one.
Ajuna, yeah.
Yes.
Ajuma.
Yes, the one from Onitsha.
Yeah. Part of the coup.
Yes. He was.
No, Ifeanyi Ajuma.
Yes, the athletic. Let's remember him as an athletic hero. He was the first Nigerian that won a gold. So let's remember him that way. Are you a coup plotter?
No, sir. No, ma. Now, what are other things that you saw in the man? What are those, what can I call it, features that you could say, okay, your husband was a great man or is a great man?
In the way he interacted with people, in showing love to mankind, was always there to help people. And that is the most important thing in life that you could do, to give love back. Very important. Very important. To show God's love. There's nothing like that. So he was a humane being. He was humane, always there for the downtrodden. There is nothing like when you begin to share love, you begin to share the love of God, agape. You cannot but be on the right path of everybody else, of the world. And I believe that when you share love, you have total joy. There'll be radiance. Like me. You know me, I love people. I will never look down on you because you are not this, you're not that. That's.
I've known you for that, to be a very sociable person. I mean, an infectious person. You infect people with your humility and all that. So, but let's talk about General Sotomi. What are those things he taught you, and how did he toast you, really?
Wait, I'm not going to say that. But my husband was a lover boy, though. He was a lover boy. When a man is too good, women fall in love with him. So he too had, his own negativity.
Call it weakness.
Yeah, perhaps. Perhaps.
So how did the 9 years of love and affection, can you recall some of those moments? And what are those things, moments that are very, very historical to you, that when you think about now, you want it to be rewind back?
Well, as a Christian, I'm moving on with my life. I'm trying to get into a new relationship, get a new husband. We've had beautiful times. Beautiful, beautiful times. So
With him.
with him, so I hope with the other person, it could be beautiful times too.
Before we go into your new dimension of getting married, after the demise of your husband, how was the relation between you and other wives, his other maybe wives or concubines and all that? Did you have any challenge? Do you have any problem?
No, because nothing like that, nothing really. We all stayed in our own. If we see ourselves, we say hello, and we just move on. But there's something that is in my husband's family, that the children, they all click. What my husband did, there's nothing like stepsister and stepbrothers. Even with my son, when they come out, this is my sister, this is my brother. That is one thing that intrigues me when I see other people who are into that, and there's this bond of love.
Let's call it familiar bond.
It's not familiar, because it's love is not a familiar thing. Love is something that is inbuilt. It's a heart thing. You know what I mean? So the Sotomi's children, they have that.
How many of them?
Maybe a normal African setup. The Yoruba says, I'm married to a Yoruba man. The Yoruba say you don't count children because children brings in love. Yes. There's too many trees and there's so many branches. So they will all flourish in the mighty name of Jesus.
Amen. So now, talking about him again, how do you feel when people like General Babangida and all the rest come to pay homage and all that in those days? And how do you feel that your husband was one that tutored some of those top generals that eventually became head of state? Even he didn't become a head of state.
It's privilege. It's privilege for a man who has those magnitudes of influence for what he has been, for what God. Because my husband was a lover of God. Sings all the hymns. We have piano in the house. We play. And I remember those days when we go to church in Archbishop Viney in Jerry Keja. We used to do 2 services, 7 to 10, because he wants to sing and all that. So that's it,
2 services.
Yes, 2 services.
Always also playing keyboard.
Yeah, yes, he was playing the piano, not keyboard. Piano is more, is better than the keyboard. The keyboard is electronics. The piano is the one you put your leg and that's it.
Okay, let's even talk. But I want to ask you that. How will you define a soldier, a pilot, a pianist, and a lawyer? So how living with that kind of character, was he a cool-headed person or a person that is what can I call?
He was just himself in the army, because he was a very stylish man, dresses well, beautiful car and all that and everything, plays polo, was a member of Lagos Boat Club since 1959, 58. And so when you look at his antecedents, he was a very classy man, and he just took it like this is the way that even his father, late Chief Adetutu Sotomi, had background thing. He was born with it. It's in his DNA. He's not a first generation thing and all that. So even himself, with things that he had, he was even he inherited some his father's properties in Papa Itakweju Streets. So when you have those kind of background, but he was a very humane man. He was a good man. He was a good person.
What was the thing that ever told you that made you so happy, and what was the thing that ever told you that made you so sad?
Sad was not there. I don't know how to describe him. He was somebody that when you come in, he tells a story and everybody laugh. And I'm like that. You know me. I tell stories, people laugh. He was somebody that when you meet him the first time, that's it.
Fall in love with him. He's a charismatic person.
Very charismatic.
So are there things you miss after the
but yes, because it's taking for a while. You don't sleep over things that you cannot hold. You live with the memory. That is what is important. Somebody have a history, whether the history is bad or good, you live with it. and that's what but I try to be, because I learned a lot of things from him. I try to be not too good but good, because in life you can't be good to everybody, so sometimes I always use a phrase that I don't want to be too good.
Why do you use that phrase? I know that it's not good to be too good, but why did you use it?
Because that is what human nature is all about. And I'm a very blunt person. I can look at you, I don't care who you are, I can look at you in the face and tell you, like, I'm a Niger Delta person, and I will tell you, look, I am militant. You know?
Militant in nature.
Yeah, it's in our DNA. For any person who is an Iso person.
Or let's call it confrontational.
No, it's not.
Militant.
Yes, that's a better word. That's better. You know what I mean. So that is it.
Let's even talk about you. Let's talk about your family. How was growing up like, and where are you really from? Because you are from, I know, is that how you are from? I think you are from Bayelsa.
No, I'm from River State.
River State.
Boni, to be precise, but
Boni.
Yeah, but Boni Kingdom.
You can call it the Boni girl.
No. But I have roots too, also from Owerri, in Imo State. So, and I have roots too from Sierra Leone.
Very fine place.
Yes, Sierra Leone, Freetown, the Creole tribe. So me, I'm a multi-dimensional person. You
have many bloods in your veins.
Yes, I am. That's why I'm the way I am. I'm a child of the diaspora. I always tell people that.
So growing up, how was life growing up, and who are your parents, and what were they able to? How did they influence you? Your mom, your dad?
My father, may so rest in peace. For whatever I am today, I had two great parents. My mom was married to my dad at the age of 18. My mom went to university in my father's house. I can say my mom, the ratio to 1 to 5, she's one of the most intelligent persons that I have known, that I have lived with. For whatever that I am today is my mom. You've seen a little bit of me. I am somebody who can put my hand in the mess, in the whatever you call it, clean up. There's nothing I cannot do. I can scrub the floor. It doesn't take anything. I can wash clothes, iron. I am very homely. So and I was an only child for a long time, for 10 years. But in those 10 years, I could do anything. So my parents, I really, really appreciate them. Really, really do.
Would you say they are the secrets behind your staying power? Because for 23 years, you have lost your husband, your sister.
Yes, because my mom is a very strong woman. So I learned that. I took that strength. Because there was a time there was so much money with my dad. And then after a while, the money dwindled down, but my mom was a force, and nobody knew, even her friends, even her family, and she kept all of us together, me and my siblings. My sister is late now. My other sisters, my two brothers, kept everybody. So if you come from that volume of steel, you have a mother who has that. There's no way that it will not rub off for me. So I had that, So I'm a very strong-willed-minded person. I'm ready. I'm a risk taker. I take risk because life is all about risk. And I tell people I'm not afraid of death. If it comes today, I'm gone. Because the Bible says a man that is born of a woman but have a few more years. Even if you live 100 years, it's still short. There's a chief that I knew from Edo State, from Ishan. I'm not going to call his name. He's late now. When he was 70, a few years ago, he started building a hotel in Benin, and he called me, and he wanted some foreign partners and all that. So when we had that meeting, And I looked at that man. He was 71 years old. And I said, at 71, this man is going to build a five-star hotel. And the five-star franchise he was buying to manage that hotel was for 26 years. Okay, calculate 70, 26. How old is that?
71 and 26. That's
90,
98.
98. Yes, okay. For him to be 98. So fine. He was thinking he was going to be 98. And I told him, and I said, Chief, after 26 years, who manages this hotel? He said his children. So what he has planned, he spent some years. If he dies, the hotel will still be what it is, because we have a problem in Africa that children don't keep inheritance. They don't work on it. Once the man dies, everything dies with him.
Children don't keep inheritance.
They don't. They don't manage it well in Africa.
Or they don't have the training.
It's not that they don't have the training, because they don't have the will. Because they don't have the zeal that their father had. They don't have, only few of them had the zeal. They don't have that zeal. They don't have the zeal that I can move from 10 to 50 or to 100. They don't. They don't have that zeal. They don't.
So you are talking about that's the kind of influence, that kind of training that your parent gave you to be strong at all times.
Yes, to be strong at. I have, my willpower is inexhaustible. You cannot, anybody that knows me, even if I don't have a dime, you will not even know. Benga, you know me now.
Yes, of course.
You will not, because I'm still in the pace, and that pace is God-given pace. That is the blessings of God. People says blessing. What is blessing? That's the blessing. It is not because you have money that you have blessing. You having money does not mean you have blessing. The gift of life, the gift of giving back, the gift of somebody is crying and then you can get the situation out, that's the blessing. Yes, or what you call mercy. Mercy is you're going out and coming in. I have been I'm into oil and gas business, and on this trip, 2016 to be precise, I went to Calabar. So I was coming back by road, and it was late in the evening. When I got to Akwa, somebody told me that I could get a vessel in Port Harcourt, in Marine Base to be precise, and I said okay. My driver and 4 of my workers were in the car together. But when I got into that Ogoni Port Harcourt highway, there was this goosebumps on my body, which was not good. On getting to the road, 15 minutes onto the road, a Navy commander called me. Said, Princess, where are you? I said, I'm on that Ogoni road. The man said, that road is not a good road. In the next 15 minutes, I was attacked for 7 hours.
Were you kidnapped or something?
I was not kidnapped, but there were 5 armed robbers with real guns. And
how was the experience?
Well, that's what I'm saying is the mercy. Because it's when you get into those kind of tragedy that you know that God, you are a chosen one. In everything I've gone through, I know I'm a chosen child.
They try to shot at you, or they touch you, or they manhandle you.
They even shot a car that came past by after 3 hours. They asked my boys to lie down on the tar road. They asked me and my supervisor to get into the swamp. And when they were done with everything, they called us out and threw back my things. They've taken what they wanted to take. Thank God there was a resources in that car, because if we didn't have those resources, we would have been dead by now. So that is the mercy that people don't know.
Let me go before we go into your town. What kind of a man do you want to marry now? You are going to be 60 now very soon. What are the qualities of the man, and can that man be able to feel into the emotional and psychological shoe of late General Emmanuel Sotomi?
Bengus, you don't compare 2 people alike. If you want to be happy in this world, never you compare 2 people. 2 people are not the same. some people, when I talk with my loud voice, they say I shout, I scream, but uh, but in that shouting and screaming, Sotomi allowed me to be in his house and accepted me for everything and all that I was. You know, some persons might not like it. You know, even some of my friends. You know, and and even sometimes, you know, the way I dress. You know, I
Creative with your dress.
yes, and that's who I am, and I've been like that from my mother's house. You know, and Sotomi saw me like that. Some persons don't even like it. 2 3 weeks ago, I went to a friend's party and I had this short dress. And where's my phone? I can get it. You know, where's my phone? So the camera takes it. Where's the phone?
I think you're.
You know, and one lady came in on the thing and said, you are a woman of God. That's nudity. I said, what does that mean? You're wearing a short dress. You know.
Can you imagine?
So some people are.
I wanted to wreck your emotion.
No. You don't wreck my emotion. I'm who I am. I'm Pegasus. Not too many people answer that name. Yes,
Pegasus.
Pegasus. You know. So not too many people. So I am not. I don't.
They want to bully you on that the platform.
No, I was not. Just only one person, and then she came back and I said, "Who are you to? Who are you to judge?" You know. And then
Discriminate your dressing sense.
I don't. You know. I know. I look good. You know. I look at myself in the mirror, and I know I look really, really, really good. So that you cannot take. I don't just wear any dress because it's a dress. I wear something and I look at myself in the mirror, and I know that this is good. So whatever anybody feels does not make any difference. I'm coming. I'm sure I'll bring it up so the camera can pick it, and then you will tell me whether the dress is good or bad or whatever. I don't know. And then she made us just one person out of like 60 or 70 persons. You know.
Just judging your dress sense, and because you wear a bumper and a skimpy bumper and all that.
Yeah, it doesn't make. It wasn't. It was a dress, a short dress, a mini skirt.
But what drives you really, apart from the training your parents give you? What makes you? You're always in a very hippie, happy mood.
That's what God does. It's God. It's not me. You know. It's God. It's God. And I have. I'm a very genuine person. You know. I have sincere love.
Then what do you think a man? What do you think you can?
Could you take this? Your camera.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, this is a beautiful one. This is a beautiful one.
Okay.
Let me ask that.
Okay.
So what do you think you look at in the man? Okay, someone might be watching you as I'm talking to you now in Canada, in France, in London, and say, okay, this is the kind of woman I want. But what do you think you need or you want in a man? Because I was trying to say, okay, what do you think you lost in General Sotomi? And you say I should not compare to people. So, but what are those features you think?
I would love a very sincere, God-fearing man. You know that is stable. Some men are not stable. You know,
Emotionally, psychologically,
just they are not
socially,
everything. They are not. Okay, they are not stable people. You know, they tell lies. You know, I want to bees. You know, I don't want. I want to bees. You know, a very serious. If I say now that I might even marry a man now that is averagely middle class person, and then we can build up something up. You know, he does not need to. Money is not everything.
it does not need to be a Dangote or $10.
No. It does not.
Or Botudeko.
It does not even need to be a Sotomi. You know what I mean?
I'm almost afraid that maybe the criteria will include billionaire club.
No. It does not need to be.
It does not mean to be in a Lagos book club or Club 30.
No. It does not. Or Metropolitan Club or
Koi.
or Poly Club. No. It does not. It does not need to be. No. He does not need to.
Which are you looking? Are you looking at a Yoruba, a Hausa, a Igbo?
Marry anybody.
Okay, are you looking at?
I don't.
Are you looking at a Muslim or a Christian or a traditional?
It does not. It does not matter. You know, those things are things that can be sorted out. You know.
And then which age range are you looking at? You are 57 now, and you are very beautiful. You are still very good in shape and all that.
Age does not make any difference to me. I could even marry a much younger guy. I could marry a much older guy. I could even marry guy. You know, it does. Once you can have an understanding, that's what it means. Can we live together? Can we have an understanding? What is age? Age is really nothing. You know, it's nothing.
You know, in Adamawa recently, a young boy of 26 married a woman of 48 or something.
Yes, I saw that.
So how did you feel?
And then you can imagine that's been from the north. Yes. Then you can imagine us from south. You so that's it. You know, anything that keeps you going, that you're happy with. What we are looking for is joy, because man can back up at any hour. So why do you need to be sad when you can give yourself some joyous moment? You know, that's it.
Joyous moment.
Yes, joyous moment. Yes.
So what other feature? The person must love you and must totally love you.
It takes two to tangle now, but I know for my experience, the love starts with a woman. Love starts with obsession, then it gets into real love. But if you start a love with obsession and it gets into infatuation, then that is no love. You know.
Catapult and plus.
Yes. You know. So.
What of if the person is from maybe is a Caucasian or an Indian or a Lebanese?
It doesn't make any difference to me. I've told you that. Color, tribe. Yes, it doesn't matter to me. Because love, there's no language of love. It's just one word, love.
Love is just love, profound.
Yes, like my sherry, my love.
Then what other thing do you think this kind of lucky man is going to benefit? I know that you know how to cook very well.
Lucky.
The lucky man is going to benefit because he might be watching now. Who knows?
Oh, Benga. You're trying to matchmake me. Gosh.
Because people from your side, they say they know how to cook a lot of soup and all that. So
no, what? I cook everything. I cook, be it African, Caucasian, Italian. I'm just a good cook. You know, I go above the board. You know.
You're talking the other time that the man could be a middle class, but what if somebody in the billionaire class now send
that would be awesome.
Somebody in the billionaire class but just be in a very bad mood now and say, okay, maybe I need this person.
That need.
Yeah, I want this person for my life.
Yes, that's the word. Want you
want this person passionate.
People, you want people. You know.
No. In the Nigerian factor, what do you think is the definition of love? Because you look at it today, a lot of people just do marriage. 6 months into the marriage, it's perfect, everything is gone. Array.
The Nigerian factor, it's a big problem. People are getting wedded, they are not getting married.
What's the difference between getting wedded and getting married?
Getting wedded is getting the most expensive event planner, the hall, the DJ, the dress, and all the razzmatazz you can think about, you know. But few people are getting married. You don't need to make too much of noise. In the getting married, you have to think about the day after. How are we going to live our life? You're not going to use 50, 60 million to get wedded.
I've seen a marriage where the musician took her husband to Dubai, and it was big in Dubai. And today now they are single. The man wanted to jump into well the other time, and yesterday another actress was even abusing her that she's the most fucked up artist, that her private part has been burned or something like that. You know, how did we get to this level?
But I just think in relationships you don't get nasty. There are things that you don't say. When the love ends, let everybody just go their way.
It was not the boy that said it. The boy wanted to jump into water that time, but some of his artists grabbed him out of the water near Lagos. But the lady now is now having fight with another artist.
Is it a new story?
And yes, the new story, yes.
Who's that?
No, it's I think it's Tiwa Savage and She yesterday at inside
Okay, yeah, no, it's in the salon. They got
the salon. Yeah, they got mad. Yes.
Yeah.
So if you look at that kind of person who married in a big way in Dubai, and today, savage, of course.
I just think that she's my girl, but I just think something went out of the norm.